Hello everybody, welcome back to 10 Minute Reviews. I'm Jason, bringing you today's video. Please don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Got a ton of reviews coming out for you guys all the time. We're actually going to divert a little bit from our usual, and we're not going to talk about an author today or a book today. I'm going to have to geek out a little bit, and we're going to go a little bit more mainstream here. I want to talk about The Mandalorian Season 1. If you guys have not checked it out yet on Disney+, The Mandalorian Season 1, oh my God, I can't stress enough how fantastic this series was. There's a reason that of all the Disney movies, the Star Wars movies that Disney, or TV shows that Disney has put out on Disney+, The Mandalorian still remains their most watched. Absolutely phenomenal, especially when you consider that most people that enjoy Star Wars really enjoy Jedis and lightsabers and all that usual stuff, me included. But The Mandalorian, wow. Now, initially, I went into The Mandalorian thinking, okay, he's going to be another Boba Fett type of character where he's almost this going to be this like mythical warrior, unbeatable warrior kind of thing. Because the Mandalorians also sort of have this reputation as these uber warriors, these warrior of warriors type of thing. So that's what I was expecting. And you get the usual look. He shows up, he's got the helmet, he's got the basic armor. Actually, even looks a little bit like Boba Fett. So that was pretty much in line with my expectations. Now he starts out Mando, as most people call him, although his name is Din Djarin, I believe, but his name is Din. Starts out as a bounty hunter, just like Boba Fett, and he's working for the bounty hunters guild. Now this show occurs after Return of the Jedi. I don't know exactly how many years after, but it occurs after the original trilogy has ended. And he's working as a bounty hunter, kind of on the outer worlds kind of thing. And it does start off with showing that he definitely has combat skills. He for sure has advanced and elite combat skills. And the series, the main plot point of the series, he starts out with this bounty for a child. And once he manages to make it to this child, because every other bounty hunter is looking for him, what's left of the Empire is looking for this child. When he eventually finds the child, that's where you get the famous, I don't feel like I'm really revealing a spoiler here, you get the famous baby, 50-year-old baby of the same species as Yoda. They were calling it Baby Yoda for the longest time. Of course, his name is Grogu, which they also end up revealing. So you get this baby. So Mando ends up managing to secure the baby, but then refuses to turn him over because he doesn't want to turn it over to the Empire, and because he's afraid of what they're going to do to it. So he fights his way free, of course. The remaining Mandalorians that are there, they call it a covert, they're basically hiding. This little clan helps him out, of course, and then they also have to leave. But he manages to escape with the child, and at that point, through Season 1, he's not entirely certain what he needs to do. He's mostly just bouncing around, trying to find a safe place to leave the child, basically, and trying to dodge the Empire and protect this child. And through it, he earns this steel called Beskar steel, which then the covert's armor blacksmith almost makes him basically leveled up high-end Mandalorian armor made with the Beskar steel that can even block lightsaber bolts and blaster bolts, or block lightsabers and blaster bolts. And each individual show on The Mandalorian Season 1 is pretty much self-contained story with some elements of the overall plot line. It does introduce other characters, such as Cara Thrace and Cobb Vanth, Moff Gideon, who's the Empire's big baddie that's part of this. And of course, Din is what they call a foundling. He was an orphan found during the war. The Mandalorians raised him up. Part of their code, this is the way, gets brought up quite a lot throughout the series, is there is this code for Mandalorians that Mando follows. He believes in it. He believes in it with his very, very soul. And the series definitely touches upon it, the code, what it means, and also the fact that technically this child is a foundling. It's an orphan that a Mandalorian has found. and therefore it's Mando's responsibility actually to care for him or return him to his people. And the show, it's a cute show because the child is definitely a child. And you see this bond building between Mando and the child. And then every so often the child reveals some pretty impressive force powers, sometimes saving Mando, sometimes just trying to get something to eat. The kid's got an appetite that's absolutely unreal, and it leads to some really hilarious things occurring within the series. But basically, the season 1 deals with Mando trying to just run with this child, keep him safe, figure out what he needs to do, and it ends with him theoretically winning and being told by the other Mandalorians that, look, this kid is a foundling. By your own creed, by the creed you live by, it is your responsibility to return him to his people. Which the idea is not to return him to the whatever species he is. That's never, to this day, never explained. I'm pretty sure that Yoda's always going to be a mystery within the Star Wars canon. Why not? I mean, he's a mythical figure, so why not keep him as a mythical figure? But instead, to return him to the Jedi, to find a Jedi. Now remember, this is post Return of the Jedi, so they are around, but so that is theoretically Mando's new mission. Now, of course, then there's this little teaser scene at the end where Moff Gideon, of course, survives, and it turns out he has the Darksaber, and the Darksaber is a very interesting relic from Star Wars books and Star Wars canon it's basically a saber-shaped lightsaber that belongs to the Mandalorians. Theoretically, the wielder of the Darksaber is potentially not really the king, but the leader of the Mandalorians. And it turns out and it was lost in history, and it turns out Moff Gideon has the Darksaber. So that, of course, leads into season 2. That's pretty fantastic. But guys, it's absolutely incredible. The Mandalorian series is it's amazing. I can't geek out enough about this. So if you haven't watched it yet, you gotta watch it. The Mandalorian is an amazing TV show. It's basically a space western. So please check it out, guys. And thank you for checking us out. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye now.